staying. It was just packed in. And the lady told him, we have some food for you and your kids. She said, I have lots of kids. The lady said, there's only chili for 4. She said, that's fine. So what they did, they took the chili, they prayed over it, and never ran out. Until everybody had eaten, they never ran out of food. See, this power is in earthen vessels, and what she says is that it's not me. She makes it very clear, it's not me. And that's where the Lord's trying to get us. For me, that's where God's getting me. It's not you. And for me, that's one of the great, hard lessons of my life. It's not you. You're not as fantastic as you think you are. And that's where the Lord needed to take me. And so I'm saying, okay, God, it's not me. It is you. I always knew it was you, but now I really know it's you. The frailty of the flesh has shown up. The frailty of my lack of power in myself has shown up. But He's given us this in earthen vessels, that we don't trust in the vessel, but we trust in the excellency of the power of God. How many are willing to trust in the excellency of the power of God? So the excellency of the power of God means that the power is more excellent than the vessel is. What you have in you is more important than the vessel itself. The vessel is made of earth. The power is made of God. The license gives you the freedom to go with the power of God, to live in the power of God. Verse 8. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. These things... Dakes helped me with this one. The first two deal with wrestling. The third one is like a foot race. And the fourth one is a boxing term. What they actually mean, we're troubled on every side. Troubled is hard-pressed. On every side. We're hard-pressed on every side, yet not distressed. The word actually being not suffocated. We're hard-pressed, but not suffocated. The devil,
Snuffed out.
Snuffed out. The devil will take you and push you to the ground, but you're not suffocated. We're hard-pressed. The devil will push us. We're troubled. The flesh will be troubled, but the Spirit of God in us is we're never suffocated.
Yes.
The second one, we're perplexed, which actually means puzzled. You ever been puzzled? Been in a battle and you were puzzled? Oh my God, what's going on? But not in despair or utterly baffled. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask. And God, who upbraideth not, gives liberally. See, that's two wrestling terms. That the second, perplexed, being puzzled. You don't know what the opponent's going to do next. He's beat your head on the ground a few times, and you're a little bit puzzled. And your head's not necessarily on straight. But we're not completely baffled. The Lord sees to it that you're never utterly baffled. You're not in despair. He sees to it. That's what the license is for. Wrestling terms. The third one, we're persecuted, which actually means pursued. We're being chased, and chased by the devil, chased by the world, chased by society, chased by life. Sometimes it's chased by the bill collectors, chased by work, chased by this, chased by that. But not forsaken, which means we're not caught or outrun. God sees to it that you can be chased, but you're never outrun. That's love. That's a license of love. That's a license of the Spirit of God. And the last one, we're cast down, which means it's a boxing term. We're struck down. We're hit, but not destroyed. In other words, we're not out of the fight. He sees to it. The first parts of all these, troubled, perplexed, persecuted, and cast down, which I told Roy, and we talked about this months ago, all deal with the body. All deal with your life. The devil can come at you. He can press you hard, puzzle you, pursue you, strike you down. He can do everything he'll try to do to you. But the second part of it all deals with the mind. He can never get your mind. God has worked it. His Spirit is there. In the excellency of the power of God is in an earthen vessel. And one of those reasons being that He can never get your mind. The power of God is there to stay the devil from your mind. To keep your mind safe, to keep your mind secure, to keep your mind victorious. How many believe that? The first part deals with the life or the body. The second part deals with the mind. We're this in the body, but we're this in the mind. We're beat down in the body, victorious in the mind. Beat down here, victorious here. That's what that says. Troubled in the body, not distressed in the mind. Perplexed, that's the body. Not in despair in the mind. Persecuted, that's the body. Not forsaken in the mind. Cast down, that's the body. Not destroyed in the mind. One is what the devil can do or the flesh does. One is the earthen vessel. The other is the excellency of the power of God. See how he perfectly sets that up. You go on and finish. Drop down. Trouble, bearing the body, dying Lord Jesus. Because he goes down, let me just read down through it. And always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Jesus, that the life also of Jesus might be made manifest in our body. The dying of the Lord Jesus. Rosie, you know what the Greek word for that is?
No.
Necrosis.
Oh, great.
It's actually dying. That literally means dying. Necro being dying, dead. The word means dead, but it's actually a state of death in your life. Your old life lived in a perpetual state of death. Always bearing about the dying of the Lord Jesus, that the life also of Jesus might be made manifest. If you walk around in a state of death, the state of life is also in you. You can say something, you're pointing.
It says in our body.
Yeah. In your body. You carry around that life. That also the life of Jesus might be manifest in our body. His life will keep you going, will keep your body going, will keep the earthen vessel going. For we which live are always delivered unto death for Jesus' sake, that the life also of Jesus might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. Verse 10, 11, kind of go in the same direction. So then death worketh in us, but life in you. Death works in us, and life in you. What does that mean? If death is working in you, if death works in me, and the life of Jesus is there, how does that work life in you?
Gives you hope.
I'm able to give that life to you. I'm able to shine that light in your direction. I'm able to let the life in me come into your life. Let you see something. Here's what you can have. That the excellency of the power of God is there to shine out into the world. If death is in you, life is also in you. And that light is meant to shine into the world. Death works in us, but life in you. That's how that works. If you have death working in you, then you have life working in you. And that life was meant to go out to bring life to the rest of the world. Make sense? We were talking about that a few weeks ago. What verse was that? Verse 13. So we have the same spirit of faith, according as is written, I believe, therefore I have spoken. We also believe, therefore we speak. Knowing that he which raised up the Lord Jesus, shall raise us up also by Jesus, and shall present us with you. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of God. All things are for your sakes. How many times does it not feel like that? All things are for your sakes. Rosie, that's verse 15. What does yours say?
For all these things are taking place for your sake.
Everything takes place for your sake. How many believe that? Do you really believe that? Everything, good, bad, ugly, miserable, horrible, wonderful, glorious, pathetic, you name it. All things are for your sakes.
That's where you use your license.
That's where you use the license.
I believe this is for my sake.
I know this is for my sake. It has to be. All things that happen in your life. I learned a long time ago, my life is not a mistake.
And nothing in it is a mistake.
No, nothing in my life is not a mistake. Gary Batchelder was the first person to ever prophesy that to me. And it was one of those situations I